says there'll be a great, Thessalonians, Paul said there'll be a great falling away, a great apostasy. And so the numbers of Americans, this is another story came out this year, who believe that every believer has a responsibility to share their faith, the gospel, not long ago was 90%. That's what the Bible says. But they took it again. Just a few years later, it's dropped to 64%. How did it plummet from 90% to 64% in just a few years? Why? Because believers are getting on the defensive instead of the offensive. It's the culture that's evangelizing now for apostasy. And so instead of affecting the world, much of the church is being affected by the world. And so more and more, and it's understandable, but it's not right, more and more, the church and Christians are saying, you know what, if I say this, I'm going to be accused of this. If I say this, I might lose this. But, guys, this is your test. Who are you following, God or Baal? Which is it? Which is it? And there are many churches and pastors who go the other way on this, but you cannot. You let the chips fall where they may. Because you are called, and this is an honor, to stand for God when it costs something. That's the greatest honor. The church, apostasy means church. Oh, well, it doesn't have to, but it generally does. Church of Scotland takes another step to allowing same-sex marriage. Church of Scotland. Church of Scotland General Assembly voted in favor of that, approving ministers conducting same-sex marriage ceremonies, which it used to call sin. The Anglican Church of New Zealand voted to support gay marriage this year. This year they found an interesting thing. The numbers of Americans identifying as LGBT is rising. Now that shouldn't be because they said you're born that way, but apparently not. Guess where it's rising the most? Among the children. Why? Because they are being affected by this more than most of you, because most of you have had enough of a life before all this happened. But children are, it's skyrocketing. The study also found that students who engaged in bisexual or same-sex marriage or same-sex activity were more likely to be engaged in drinking alcohol, smoking, using drugs. Of course, the media will never tell you that story. The Church of England is now engaged in a drive to encourage transgender people to become vicars. It's all, but not pastors, of course, but give it a few years and then it'll be that. It's not about the people, it's about what we live. In Australia, that just legalized this marriage, as I said, and they said new ministers have to bless it. Guess what's happening? A church denomination in Australia suddenly received a revelation that God had it all wrong, and now the Uniting Church in Australia has changed their definition of marriage. That's called, do they get that from God? No, it's called apostasy. See, most people just go along with the majority of their time. Doesn't matter if the majority is following Hitler. Most of Germany will go that way. Most of the majority in Russia, they're following the communists. The majority then goes there. Doesn't matter. And so you shouldn't be surprised. But God forbid it happens to believers. Instead of the church leading the world, the church is more and more being led by it. And in Ireland, after legalizing gay marriage, the state now requires the church to do marriage counseling to homosexual couples. So guess what? Here's the story. Irish bishops agree to offer marriage counseling to same-sex couples. Now, they didn't want to. They challenged it, but the state said it, and they said, okay, I guess we lose. What happened to that Christian university in Canada where they had that covenant? The state warred against them. They said, we'll withdraw your accreditation. So the Christian college challenged the state in court. And they lost because Canada's court is that way. So here's the next story. Just came out. Canada's largest private Christian university, same one, drops its ban on same-sex relationships. They were threatened with losing, which would mean closing their law department. So they made a choice. We'll stay open, but we'll remove the biblical stand. The problem is you compromise with sin, you'll end up having nothing left to defend.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA.